Assalamu alaikum students and a very good afternoon to you. Welcome back with the same chapter but another topic. So today we're going to be talking about Darius I, whose regime was from 522 to 486, right? So without further ado, let's get started. So in the last video we covered about the introduction of this chapter, the Cyrus the Great, and information which is actually present here at the left side of the page in the yellow strip. Now we're going to be starting Darius, and I just let me just zoom in a little bit for you guys. Okay, so let's give it a little bit read, and with that I will be continuously telling you a little bit background of the story as well. So Darius 1 522 486 BCE. So the next ruler, Darius I, was a son-in-law of Cambyses. Okay, he was a son-in-law of the Cambyses, and he added to his empire the regions of Punjab in India and Thrace in Europe, and Thrace in Europe. Now, this particular line actually means that once he came into being, or let's say when he came to the power, so it doesn't happen that a person keeps on adding the area to their territory, but he must have fought some wars and something like that, and due to that he was able to conquer those areas as well, right? So then it says that Darius had a history of his battles, victories, and successions as well, inscribed in the three languages in the cuneiform script. Excuse me, I'm just not feeling well. On the rock in Behustan. Okay, so here it's saying that along the all the battles, all the victories, all the successions that the Darius was having, so they had this thing that they used to write and keep a record of all of these things. Right? How? So they used to inscribe. If you remember that we studied about a cuneiform script back in our first term in one of the chapters. We studied that in the Greek in the Egyptian civilization as well, that how they used to keep the record of all those things. So making sure that they are keeping a record of entire history. That's how they let's say inscribed those things into three languages in the cuneiform script on a rock face in Behustan, now near the city of Kermanshah. Now Behustan. Now let me just give you a little bit, a little bit background check for on Behustan. So uh, Histon, Behistun inscription, all right, in Kermanshah, Iran. Okay, so archaeological site in Iran. So this is actually an archaeological site in Iran. Archaeology. I hope you're aware of this term. We studied that extensively in our first term. So archaeology is actually a study of uh, ancient, let's say, places or the ornaments, or let's say the places that they're discovered, the fossils. So if I mean, like, back in the Mohenjo-daro is also an archaeological site. With that, Harappa is also an archaeological site. So Behustan inscription, actually, which actually, if you can see this picture, so actually really describes that what is actually going on over here. That's how they used to write their history, by literally inscribing. You see, inscribing is a process of, let's say, engraving, taking some tools and engraving in the rock stones, making designs, or maybe even writing, just the way they did in the cuneiform script on these Rosetta Stone. If you remember, we studied about Rosetta Stone as well. This is how they used to do back in the days. Now, coming back to our topic, near Kermanshah in western Iran. So this was a place in the western Iran. It's still present, and definitely this picture is taken somewhere near, not so long ago. It's a color picture, and then it says that Bayezid inscription begins with a brief autobiography. Remember, word autobiography. In English, we have studied about biographies and autobiography. Okay, and you should know that what is the difference between a biography and an autobiography. So, and the ancestry and lineage. Ancestry and lineage, what does this mean? See, ancestry, the root word is ancestors. Ancestors means our elders, the elders of our elders. Means we're talking about here about our grandparents, the great great grandparents, the great 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 grandparents, the father of the father of the father of the father. And this is exactly the family lineage. That, for example, who was the first? I mean, like I mean, like the first. Let's say the great 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 grandfather, then his son, then his son, then his son, then our grandfather, then our father, then us, and let's say the family lineage goes on and on. Okay, just like in the British history, in the monarch, we have studied about the British history as well a little bit in the class. So studying about that monarch, why not let me show you a little bit about that. Okay, so for an example, let's now this is the easiest one, the British history lineage. Okay, so let's try to find this out. British family lineage. Okay, okay, British family lineage. Okay, here you go. Check this picture out. So see, this is actually this picture over here is actually shows the lineage of the entire family. Give me a second if I can find a clear picture of this one. Okay, this is from BBC. Okay, yeah, perfect. See, now here it's actually telling us the lineage of the entire family, right? Now, for example, if you look at the King Charles, okay, so King Charles was having, let's say, two partners, and one was Diana, Princess of Wales, and through the Diana, they were having children like Prince of Wales, William, and his wife Catherine, and another son, the Harry, Duke of Sussex, and their family. So this is actually shows the lineage. So this is exactly what we are speaking over here as well. We are speaking about their family lineage, okay, of Darius the One, and also included the names of 23 satrapies, the provinces. Now, mind me, we're going to be talking about here satrapies, the provinces, okay? So let's get to the next page. Now, over here, what is happening that the Darius I set up an efficient government by dividing the empire into provinces or satrapies, each ruled by a governor called satrap. Okay, now we studied this thing that they had a really good efficient government system. So the proper way to have the good governance is actually, of course, law and order. Let's not forget that. And actually, you see, the more, well, let's say, let me give you an example. Now, for example, Pakistan as a country, it's a big country, right? Now, just imagine that there was no province in Pakistan. Okay, there was only one chief minister of the entire country. Like entire country was a one province. Okay, but then what problems could have occurred? The people, maybe let's say, the governor or the heads of the states were having their offices only in Islamabad. No one was having any kind of office in Sindh, in Balochistan, in Punjab, in KPK, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, or in Gilgit Baltistan. All right, so no one was having office anywhere around there. Okay, so how difficult it would have been to actually reach out to them. Okay.